Black Compass Media, back live with another one. Shout out to everybody that's out there right now. Stone Bro checking in. Driz.
I'm ready. It's an exciting day.
Yeah.
The first real, sports show we actually having. Excited to have this guest on. We're looking forward to this.
No, definitely. I mean, this is something different, right? We like to expand what we're doing here. And this brother's been gracious enough to come up here. This is actually really, really dope. I got a lot of dope questions to ask and things like that. Now,
Yes.
let's get to the things. Now, before everything, make sure y'all subscribe and all of that stuff too. But this is a different bag that we didn't realize. So, introducing on the inaugural episode of Black Compass Sports. So, this is a strong safety, formerly of the Rams, find his new home in Cleveland, right?
Yes.
Joining Ronnie Harrison, Grant Delpit. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns, by way of Boston College and the DMV. We got John Johnson third. What's going on, bro?
Yo, what's up, fellas?
What's going on, brother? Appreciate you coming up here. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all for having me.
Definitely.
Yep.
Just want to start off by saying congratulations on the new deal this summer. Just kind of walk us through what was free agency like for you, just the whole experience.
Man, it's definitely it's a tricky situation. It's like you in limbo. I mean, I knew I put myself in a good situation. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna get compensated or whatever. I put in a lot of hard work. I had a good, solid little rookie deal. But yeah, it's just picking up and moving. You don't know where you're gonna go, how far you gotta go. Just starting fresh. I mean, the team that drafts you, it got tricky because I thought they might have found a way to bring me back. I mean, I felt like I was a big part of that defense, that team, that locker room. So I some in the back of my head was like, they're gonna figure it out. They're gonna find a way to bring me back. But I mean, the opportunity in Cleveland presented itself, and they got a good team over there. So I'm excited. But free agency, it's just that month and a half of just nothing for real. So I'm glad it's over. Yeah, I'm glad it's over, and I'm glad I got a home.
Yeah. So I mean, so you were able to really stand out with the Rams, right? Like you get there, you have a great rookie campaign, and then the second year is the breakout year with the 4 picks and the 119 tackles, right, combined. Now we get out of that situation. You're one of the highest rated safeties. Even though you got the strong core right there, the strong defense and everything, is there still a little bit of pressure in going into the situation with expectations being the way they are?
Going into the Cleveland situation?
Yeah, right.
I mean, yeah and no. I feel like, the game been slowing down. Each year I've been in the league, it just been slowing down. So there's really no pressure. I mean, like I said, they got a good situation over there. They already had a solid defense. And like I told the staff, I just said, look, I'm happy about this because I don't got to be Superman over there. I just got to come in. I just got to come in, be myself, make the plays that are presented to me. I told some people earlier, I came from AD and Ramsey. I'm going to Myles Garrett and Denzel. They're going to do their part. I just got to do mine. So it's really no pressure. I'm ready for it.
Definitely. Right. Now, a lot of people, they see where John Johnson is today, but I kind of want to go back. Hyattsville, Maryland. What was, you played receiver and safety in high school. What ultimately made you shift more toward defense in your early years of football?
Yeah, I felt like I was way cold at receiver. I think I was a natural receiver. Even I played basketball, I go up and get a rebound. That's how I went up and got a football. So, but to be honest, I think it was just the speed thing. Like, I ain't really had that breakaway, home run, wide receiver speed. So I'm like, let me figure this out. So making that transition to defense, it just felt like a perfect fit. And, possibility of going to the league, I feel like just defense was a better fit for me.
Right. What was the recruiting process kind of like for you in high school? Because you were recruited, but you weren't like a 5-star, heavily touted player. So what was the process like for you as far as finding a collegiate home?
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, my area growing up, I'm from PG County, Maryland, and that's really like a private school dominated area. Like, if you don't go to DeMatha, Good Counsel, Gilman, one of them schools, it's hard to get offers and get looked at. So I could just remember me and my homeboys, we used to sell candy to raise money to take trips up and down the East Coast, go to these one-day camps just to get looked at. Like, coaches, they ain't look at our tape. Like, we sent it out to everybody. They just, breezed by it because of the school we went to. But I can remember Boston College came to my school to see my running back. The running back coach came to see him. And I was just doing my little work in the sand pit, footwork drills. He like, who is that? So I had to drive up there to Boston College. We got in the minivan, drove up there, and I went to a one-day camp, and I did what I had to do. I was on both sides of the ball, just showing what I could do. And they offered me, I think, like the next day, 2 days later, and I committed because that's all I had. Like, I had a bunch.
That was your only offer?
I had a bunch of 1AA schools and like the MAC conference. I had a bunch of those schools, but that was like my first Power 5 school to offer me.
Yeah. Oh, good. But even before that, like when you was just coming up in high school, see, listen, I'm gonna be honest, right? Like I gotta be real with myself. Like I'm not a crazy all-time athlete. You won't see me at no top Rochester, nothing upstate. So I even got to go back to high school when I talk to players that are, at a level where you're at. So when was that spark where it was like, yo, I got it? Like, what was it? A moment? Was it a singular play where you was like, I can be, out here one day, what I mean, in terms of being a lead?
Yeah, I think that's a good question because I can remember my freshman year, I was on JV, and I was like, I had a growth spurt from freshman year to sophomore year. So I didn't even think it was a possible. I just was out there having fun playing football. Mm-hmm. So I hit that growth spurt my sophomore year. A bunch of my homies got moved up to varsity, like a bunch of my sophomore homies. I ended up staying on JV for half the season because we couldn't bring all the sophomores up. Like I was just on JV. That's just how it was. So then I finally got moved up, and I think it was the last game of the season. I had 3 picks in one game, and like all the coaches like, what the? They was like, why you wasn't up here the whole time? Like, so I think at that moment I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. I can compete. And then from there, it just was like you said, going to them big rivals camps and like them like showcases. Once I started to do that and started to, really compete with the big dogs, I was like, oh yeah, it's a possibility.
Right. How come, you look around the NFL today and you have yourself, Dwayne Haskins, Chase Young, Darren Waller. It's a lot of PG County, but a lot of DMV talent. As a whole, you got the Diggs brothers. They're from Baltimore, I believe. Why don't we hear as much about DMV football, high school football, like we hear about Texas high school football and the Florida boys in Georgia?
Yeah.
Why don't we hear as much? Because you guys have a lot of NFL talent as well.
To be honest, I don't know. Because I saw some a couple years ago. It was like per capita, like Maryland got the most dudes like in the league or that go D1. So I just think this is a smaller state. I mean, that's how we get overlooked. It's just not like a lot of big schools out there. But pure talent-wise, like you said, there's dudes in the league like that we forget about. Like even Joe Hayden, like that's been doing it for a minute. Like so, the DMV, and on top of that, we are kind of like a basketball state. They used to say.
I was thinking that too.
I feel like it's changing over a little bit, but it's definitely talent in the DMV area.
Right. And even in just to finish up with the high school stuff, is like, what do you felt like separated people? Because I think there's a moment, when you playing ball, it's like a lot of people go, the other way, like you know what I mean? And or they have circumstances that affect what is going on. Like, did you ever run into that in terms of like other people where you felt like, yo, this dude is good enough to be here, but the circumstances maybe didn't work out? Like, can you talk a little bit about that experience?
For sure. I know like the biggest, strongest dudes, like just couldn't get out the streets. Like I know dudes that could chase down anybody in boots and jeans, like just pure athletes. But you know what I'm saying? They just couldn't. Things ain't go right, even whether it's inside the house, family situations. Not even going to school to have grades to just showcase your ability. So I feel like that's everywhere. But the freak athletes that I know, they not even playing right now. So it's definitely for sure. And I think just making sacrifices, that's what happened with me. Like sometimes I ain't had the shoes that I wanted because I wanted to get cleats or something. Sometimes I couldn't go to the mall and hang out with my friends because I wanted to be on the field. So it's just, I think, making those sacrifices and honestly just being lucky. Like the stars got to align because it's plenty of people out there that don't even get a chance to showcase what they could do. So it's getting lucky, being blessed, and sacrifice.
Right. Early on, so going to Boston College, coming from the DMV, what were some of the the challenges? I'm pretty sure it's a culture change going from the DMV to Boston. So what were some of the challenges? Just getting acclimated to being out of the home for the first time and somewhere else in the country.
Yeah. So the area I grew up in is predominantly black. It's a couple like Latinos, very small white. So when I went up to Boston College, not even just Boston as a city, I feel like it's a predominantly white city. They got hoods and stuff. They got like it's a major city.
Yeah.
But going to Boston College itself, like I had long dreads. I can remember going up there. Them girls like, can I touch your hair? I'm like, what? I'm like, like they ain't never even
come on, man.
Before. I'm telling you. So it was different. Luckily, like I was a little cultured, you know what I'm saying? I ain't grow up, judging people and stuff like that. So it was different, but just being around people that, that came from money was different. Just it wasn't a culture shock, but I definitely enjoyed the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to see something different, see something new, because I always wanted to go to HBCU, but if their football not big enough, so I had to do what I had to do. And it was different for sure though.
Yeah.
HBCU dreams to Boston College. That's
They don't got big football. If they had big football, I'd be there.
There was it's interesting you say that there was a conversation I had with someone about like what if all of the talent just said, yo, we just going to HBCUs, you know what I mean? Like what that would do for the programs and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But is it already too, entrenched in terms of the system, you feel like with college football that you can't have that type of sea change?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the money. I mean, the TV deals, the equipments, the facilities, like HBCU, they'll never be able to compete with like a Alabama or something like that. It's just not possible. I mean, if all the talent went there, I mean, I feel like the NFL would still find them. But like I said, who wants to turn down being basically in the NFL while you in college to go to HBCU? It's a slippery slope because, like I said, I wanted to go to HBCU, but chances are, you make it is hard. So I don't think it'll ever happen like that. Maybe basketball, but I don't think football will happen like that.
Interesting.
So getting on to the college field, what was some of the biggest differences going from high school varsity football to being on that big college field?
Yeah, I just feel like just the size, everybody faster, stronger, speed picks up a little bit, and I mean it's really just like the margin for error just gets smaller and smaller every level you go through. Like high school, you can go out there. I could be jogging, just having fun. I still go off 2-3 touchdowns, whatever. But in college, that margin for error gets smaller. It's really like getting ready for the pros. I know at least in the ACC, like it's really you got to see Clemson, you got to see Florida State. Like them dudes pretty much league already. So I mean, it's definitely like a tune-up, but it's just like the speed and the margin for error is smaller.
Who are some of the elite players in your conference when you were in college? Jalen Ramsey, was he still at FSU?
He was there. Ramsey, Deshaun Watson, Jameis was there my freshman year. Florida State had a mob. Let you mention Ramsey. They had Ramsey. They had James Wilder, Carlos Williams. The tight end Nick O'Leary was cold. Kenny Shaw, Rashad Green, their whole O-line went league. Devontae Freeman was there. Like
then they had a safety from the Chargers too.
Derwin was there.
Derwin James.
I don't think not my freshman year, but he was there during my time. LaMarcus Joyner, like you name it. They had mobs. Clemson, we had to see about Sammy Watkins. We had to see about it was real. So just look at all the dudes in the league balling.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's different though too. Like, okay, so the college experience of having a team like that walk into the stadium or having to go into that territory, right? It has to be like, yo, like, okay, these is all future NFL or at least guys that are gonna get a session of work out. Like, but you took that challenge on. You knew what you were going into going to Boston College, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the expectation where I'm competing against everybody? Doesn't matter if I stand out here. You know what I'm saying? Your mentality going in.
Yeah, for sure. Because at Boston College, I mean, they've been the punching bag of the ACC for a minute. Like, just they can't recruit. It's cold up there. You got to have some type of grades. You got to, you know what I'm saying, get it. You got to get into school. So we always had a problem like recruiting with those bigger schools, but we always had a cold defense.
Yeah.
All 4 years I was there, it's just like, because we tough, you know, we smart, we disciplined. So we always gave teams bump like in that aspect. But for me, yeah, it was just showcasing what we could do on defense. It was real separated for me, because the offense, look, I love them boys, but they wasn't on that type of time.
They wasn't
so
up
really,
to speed with y'all.
They really wasn't. So it was every week. It was, look, we number one. We was number one defense my junior year. So like we went out there and competed every week. So I love them dudes, man. I wouldn't trade them for the world. You know what I'm saying? Going to Boston College, like the odds are against you. They didn't think we was gonna win any of them ACC games, but it's all about competing.
So as you started, at what point, in your years at Boston College, because obviously, you know, we all play sports and we all feel like, man, I could make it, but what point did you really see like it's right there? You know, was there any, you know, was it any accolades you received that made you feel like I'm right there, or what kind of made you feel like, you know, it's within arm's reach of me getting to my dream?
For sure. So I went up to BC as a corner. So my first 2 years I played corner. My freshman year was mostly special teams. My second year, one of the starting corners got suspended. So I ended up starting 2 games. I did pretty well. I was strapping in them 2 games, but then I got hurt, missed 5 games, came back for the bowl game. And I was just looking at the roster like, all right, he leaving, he's staying. It was a bunch of safeties graduating and a bunch of corners coming back. So already in my mind, I'm like, I might as well just move to safety, bro. Like, and they ended up paying off, and they moved me. It was like seamless because I had knew the whole defense already. But I say after my junior year, Justin Simmons from the Broncos, you know, he's all pro.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
Me and him playing next to each other, and he was up. My junior year, his senior year, he was up. So I'm looking at our stats. I'm like, should I go league right now? Like, the same. I'm like, hold on. Literally the same. We had the same numbers, same ability, all that. But I didn't want to, you know, interfere with, you know, I go first, he go first. Somebody. So he did his thing. He got drafted 3rd round. So I'm like, okay, if he went, I'm definitely about to go too. So it was just, you know, I was just thinking, have another senior year like that junior year, then we out of here.
So you have a solid senior year, and then you go into the Senior Bowl. What, for people that don't know, what is the Senior Bowl? What is it like as far as the practices and the evaluators who are there? Just kind of take us behind the curtain of what the Senior Bowl experience was like.
Right, it's pretty much like the combine, but football. Like you got pads on and you playing. So every team is there. All coaches, all scouts, GMs, they're all there. Just and like you said, the practices are more important. It's really like the combine. Like they going out there evaluating. And for a guy like me, they select all the top prospects that they, you know, besides like the number 1 pick, he probably not going to go or whatever. But
right.
Pretty much, if you're draftable, you're going to get an invite to the Senior Bowl. And it's really just like showcasing your ability. And a guy like me, I was on the fence. Like, I got calls saying, "Oh, you might go 2nd round." I got calls saying you might go in the 6th. I got a free agency calls like, "Look, if you don't get drafted, you can come here and sign as a free agent." I'm like, huh? So for a guy like me, because I went to Boston College, I went out there and I was just, you know, they wanted to see if I could move. You know, watching tape is different from in person, like seeing what you could do and how you match up against better talent, because everybody there is good, literally. So that's like your first dose of, you know, just being in the NFL scheme. The teams with the 2 teams with the losing records from the previous year are the coaches of the teams. So my year, it was the Browns and the Bears. My team, the North team, we were coached by the Bears coaching staff. So it's kind of like you in the NFL for a week.
Okay.
Yeah, the South, they were coached by the Browns coaching staff. So it's kind of like you really, like if the Bears wanted to take me, I would already know the DB coach. I already know the head coach. We didn't already been in that atmosphere before, in the meeting rooms, you know what I'm saying, all that. So it was a good opportunity. I mean, I took it and ran with it, like, because they didn't know what I could do. And I was out there playing corner and safety, just like trying to show my versatility. They said I'm smoother than what they thought. I had like the most explosive movements in the place. They track that for you. So it's really like the intro to the combine, like showing who you are, what you can do, like what's your body type like. They got all the weigh-ins, all the It's pretty much the combine before the combine.
Yeah. And then like, so as far as now, you know what I mean, transitioning to Cleveland, that's dope. But even in that situation where you were at the Rams, it was like you guys are really, really good in that pocket, right? Even going to the championship and everything like that. It was like, you know, going through that early on in your career, did you kind of have guys that you could kind of lean on who have been in playoff situations that maybe be able to give you some advice? What, like, was it nerves and things like that? Because it was looking like things were, you know, really about to hit, you know what I mean, until the championship, of course. So, but how did you feel about that going into it?
Yeah, so my rookie year, everything was new. That was Coach McVay's first year. That was their second year in LA, but the first year they were just they were trash. They were just trying to get the move situated. So yeah, my first year we went 11-5, made the wild card game, lost. So coming into that next season, we were like, okay, Coach McVay, he know what he's doing. He built the culture here, winning. We about to turn things around. And then we brought in that was the year we brought in Talib, Marcus Peters, all of them. Big Sue, Big Sue. So we like, oh yeah, we on some win now time. And that's what it was. So and we did. We went out there. We had a good team. I think we won 13 games. Got the first round bye the playoffs. Smoked the Cowboys. Then beat the Saints.
I love when y'all smoke the Cowboys. I can't stand the Cowboys.
Eagles fan over here. Yes.
Yeah. Smoked the Cowboys and went on and beat the Saints. So I feel like all those veteran dudes, even though like Big Sue he was in Detroit, he never really had that playoff experience, but he was still a guy in the locker room like that knew what was going on, that been there before, that won games. Talib had won in Denver, so he was really the dude in the DB room. Like, look, we got to do it this way. We got to do it this way. Even the coaches listened to him. Like, all right, bet we're gonna do it this way, and it ended up working out because we made it there. And he was hurt most of that year, but he still was in the locker room, still getting us right. So. I say like Akeem definitely was a big deal, and Marcus was right below that.
Yeah. Right. So what was your moment in the NFL? Because I know your first start got a pick six on Russell Wilson.
They walked
pick six.
But I had a pick.
He had a pick on Russell Wilson. So what was it like? Getting that pick in your first start.
To be honest, I was just on some because I had seen like what had happened. I know you hear it's a business, it's a like what have you done for me lately? It's a production business, but that was like the first time I done seen it in real life because I'm a rookie. The starter, he had like the first game, they was just like, maybe he just gotta knock the rust off. Second game, they was like, all right, bro, you made us lose the game. Third game, he was kind of beat up, and they was like, come on, we can't have you out there. So that fourth game, they told me I was gonna play like the sub packages, and he was gonna play like base, like with the big packages.
Okay.
And I did my thing. I had a few tackles against the Cowboys in Dallas. So I had a few tackles. They said I had to like a big stop on fourth down to end the game on Zeke. And so after that, the following game going to Seattle, they said, all right, young boy, you start. The starter, you're not getting dressed. I said, hey, like
it's cutthroat, baby.
Wait, hold on. Did they say it like they come in there like you sit down and we going over here real quick?
I'm telling you, that's how it happened. Like it wasn't with the whole defense, it was just with the secondary.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that's how it was. It was like, shorty, look, you're gonna be down this week. You starting. He didn't even get dressed for that game. He was in sweats.
Wow.
I went out there. And like you mentioned before, my mindset was just like, don't mess up. Like, just do your job. Like, don't try to be Superman. Just be in the right place. And I was. And I got that pick. That following week, they done cut my dog.
Wow. Yo.
They done cut my dog. So I'm like, all right, now I got to go out there and play. But yeah, that pick definitely like was that he the man now. So since then, I've been starting ever since. Like, no competing at practice for the safety. Nah. I'm starting now. So it was cool.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. Man, that's a crazy transition, man. But go ahead, Drew.
Kind of going back to what Tony Bro had mentioned. I want to go back to that New Orleans game. That was a crazy. I think that's an all-time game. You had a big interception in overtime. What was it like being in that crazy back and forth with the legend Drew Brees?
Oh yeah. So just it go back to early on. Like I think we played them 3 times that year. Oh,
I
don't know.
think that
Somehow we might have played them. Yeah, I don't know, but it just felt like we kept playing. Oh no, we went down in the preseason. We went out in the preseason.
Pre-work, yeah.
So yeah, we just felt like we having to keep seeing about these dudes, and like it became a rivalry, like just because I think we won one, and they won one, and it was just back and forth. But we knew we had to win that game, and that moment was just like, all right. I told them dudes in the sideline, I said, look, I'm not trying to be in New Orleans all night, man. Let's hurry up. I ain't want to go overtime.
I watched you mic'd up. I see you on the mic up. I can hear you saying something like that.
I said,
you know what I mean?
Out of here, because I think they pump crowd noise into their stadium.
You think so?
They got to, cause all right, so it'll be loud, whatever. We'll get a first down. It'll go dead silent.
Oh.
And then like 2-3 seconds later, it just go, it just get louder. We like, nah, ain't no way. So that atmosphere, then it's in a dome. Then, like you said, they got Breeze, Kamara, Mike Thomas. I mean, like, I just want out of there.
A lot.
We made enough plays to win. You know, we had that little the no pass interference call. So like, you said.
Yeah. Was it pass interference?
I mean,
wasn't no flag though. No flag, no call, huh?
I ain't seen no flag.
Man, come on. Man.
I ain't seen no flag on the field. I'm telling you.
Listen. I respect that answer. I respect the answer.
But,
you know, I respect it.
Hey, the refs mess up too, man. They humans. If that's the case, they get robots from refs. They humans.
Right.
They mess up.
Right. That's true.
Now, one thing I noticed about you, just looking at the game tapes and everything, you have that, like, you get in between the hands and all that. You the way you break up the ball, even the way that you hit people,
very technically sound,
aggressive, but it's clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not too many times where you can say, "Yo, he's like going in for blood." You know what I mean? And the strong safety position, it's tough to balance that aggression with that. You know what I mean? With this new NFL. So how did your style get influenced that way? Because I think a lot of us grew up with John Lynch and Brian Dawkins
headhunting,
killing people.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I just feel like, you know, being coached that way, like we really coach tackling at my high school, so that's a blessing. You know, like I said, at Boston College, we gotta be able to be technical, disciplined, fundamental, or else we're gonna get blown out the water just because the athlete, the athleticism is different. So I mean, but yeah, my thing is I'm trying to stay healthy for one, keep my head out the game, and because most of the time when you see dudes make big hits, the guy that was doing the hitting is more hurt than the dude that was catching the ball. So like, and I've seen that firsthand. Every time I try to hit somebody, my shoulder, like, oh no, I ain't doing that again. So just my health and adding years on to my career. I'm not, you know, in this league, everybody big, everybody lift weights. You're not about to knock somebody's head off every time. And I'm like 200 pounds. Dudes be 220, 230 running. It's physics. I'm not, you just can't. So I mean, health and just being disciplined, being clean, like you said, that's always been a big thing for me.
I think guys in general are more cognizant of that, and I'm actually happy about that. So listen, I played enough football to know that it's the hits that don't make a noise, them be the ones sometimes that really get you. So it's like no real need to try to kill somebody to, you know, make a highlight. You feel what I'm saying? So, but go ahead, Driz.
You brought up your health. Your third season was cut short. You had to have shoulder surgery. What was it like kind of going through that process and going through the rehab to get back to the field?
Man, that was the worst. The rehab was cool. Our strength staff is like, the strength staff and the trainers, it's like the barbershop when you walk in there, like people joking, like bidding on each other, laughing, playing. So like rehab was fun. It was sweet, but just not being able to like contribute to the team. Literally, me going to rehab, that's all I can give to the team. Like, I couldn't even really be outside on the field because once they doing that, I'm rehabbing, or couldn't be in the meeting rooms like that. It was really just waking up, going to work, coming right back here. It was times I just like laid on the couch because I was bored. Like I couldn't do much. My shoulder was banged up. I got a sling on. Man. So it was like a dark period for a little bit. And then, like I said, I was really looking forward to maybe getting extended after my third year. That probably played a big factor into going into my fourth year. Them probably saying, let's maybe not, you know, we could do without them. So it was definitely like a dark period. Missed the playoffs that year. teammates like, damn, bro, we miss you. Coaches like, damn, look, we feel you out there. When you out there, it's different without you. So that really like woke me up. Like, all right, I gotta get back to healthy, get back 100%, and really be out there with them boys.
And then going into your fourth season, you became a team captain. You was mic'd up every game. You was in the head. They had you on the headset. What was it like becoming a captain for the defense? Becoming a captain with a defense with Jalen Ramsey, to who me is the best corner in the world on it, and arguably the best player in the league still, Aaron Donald, even though he's on the D line. Like, what was it like being a captain of that ship with both of those guys on there?
Yeah, it's a blessing. It's an honor. Like, that's all player voted. Like, the team vote on that. The coaches have no say in that. No one else. It's all player voted. So when your peers look at you that way, you know, it means a lot. I always felt like I was a leader. You know, I felt like I probably could have been a captain earlier, but we had guys like Talib come in. We had guys like Eric Weddle come in. Like, they came right in. They automatically going to have that seal on their chest just because they know so much. So that fourth year, I mean, it was huge. And then having that green dot calling the plays, we got a new D coordinator, and we kicked it off like as soon as he got in the building. Like, we knew what we was about to be on. I seen him with Eddie Jackson. He was in Chicago with Eddie Jackson. The previous year, he was with Justin Simmons in Denver. So I knew it was going to be real safety friendly, and, you know, he was going to move me around and do stuff like that. And, you know, our linebacker situation, usually the linebackers call the plays, but one guy, he was coming off an injury. The other ones were kind of rotating, fighting for the job. So I was kind of like that common denominator that they knew I wasn't going to lead the field. And I had that vocal say. And like you said, dudes like AD, Ramsey, they listen. So, like, they knew it was me, and it's a true honor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what, you know, that might be a common trait amongst like the safeties, especially just because y'all see everything. Y'all also won't shut up. That's what people say with me. You know what I mean? Like, they tell me that the safeties is a guy that's the most vocal all the time. Like, and I can sense it, right? Because the NFL is like such a momentum game. Was ever times where you had to kind of deliver that, you know what I mean, you got to get your act together type of speech to one of your teammates, to where it was like, yo, like, we got to do something or we're going to lose this game? Like, how do you sort of balance that aggression with being informative with the teammates? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I think that's just my personality in general. I mean, away from football, you can look at like just my friends, you know, my family. Like, I always been like the vocal, like, people gravitate towards me, like, because
definitely
it's coming from a good place always. So even if I did have to, like, I mean, in the league, it's a little different. We all grown, man. It's more of like,
right.
You got to do your job, like, or else, you know, what's going to happen is going to happen. Like, you got to produce. But yeah, like you said, we do talk a lot. We see everything. I see everything before it happens.
No.
You cut out a little bit.
No, we can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
We got you now. We got you.
Yeah, so I see everything before it happens. And like you said, I do a lot of talking, so I don't even wear a mouthpiece. People be like, you play without a mouthpiece? I'm like, yeah, I got to, bro. I'm talking before the snap. Like, I can't be trying to, I ain't doing all that. So, so we definitely the vocal leaders. But, yeah, before every snap, you know, when I'm calling the play, if it's a big third down, I'm making sure everybody tapped in, everybody know what they got to do. Like, look, this is it. This is Super Bowl. This play right here. I'm chatting, just keeping dudes, you know, comfortable. Like, I feel like a lot of people are comfortable when I'm out there, so that's what I try to display out there.
Who are some of your just going back looking at? I know for me personally, Ed Reed was like one of my favorite players ever, especially from the safety spot. Who are some of your influences from the position?
Yeah, Ed Reed. I mean, I'm from the DC area. Sean Taylor was huge. I mean, he might have been the best ever, but I just like those dudes that do everything, like all around players, like even guys like that he don't even get recognition like that. I like Patrick Chung, like dudes that literally can do everything. I always looked up to those guys. And Ed Reed, like, he'd go out there and play special teams. He'd take a rep at gunner. He'd do literally whatever, anything on the field. So I always looked up to those dudes.
Yeah. All right. So I always wonder, because it's like, I'm that fan that players probably hate. I'm that fan on this couch talking about, man, how you didn't stop him, how you let him run by you.
Me,
but yeah, I'm that fan.
Absolutely.
What is it like when, you know, Odell Beckham come line up in front of you, or, you know, Devontae Adams come line up in front of you, and he has Aaron freaking Rodgers diagramming all of this, putting everything together. What is it like just being in front of that and having to deal with that? And the mind trick, because it's a mind battle too.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it like being in those type of battles with those elite Hall of Fame talents?
Yeah, so we think about stuff like that. You know, obviously when we game plan and preparing for the week, we got a whole week to get ready for these dudes. And that's what it come down to. Like, if you know what they trying to do, if you know what like they want to do, you know, if Vontae lined it up in this spot, they're gonna want to run this type of route, get them the ball in that position. Like, you really got to fall back on that and your preparation and the other 10 dudes. That's how I get peace of mind. Like, look,
right,
I know Ramsey's gonna do his job, so I got to be there for him. I know he gonna do his job, I got to be there for him. So it's really like you never really truly. I mean, maybe Ramsey is a little bit, but you never really truly like just no help on an island. Like, even sometimes you see him by himself, he's not really by himself. I'm always gonna be conscious of what's going on over there. So I mean, just that preparation and, you know, studying and trusting your brothers, and that really helps pay it off. Because if I'm lined up on the receiver, I'm gonna tell my other safety like, "Hey, bro, like,
you see me over here,
you know
don't you?
Help me."
You don't got to double team them, but like, look, just don't go nowhere. Stay right here. So just trusting your brothers in that game plan. Like, we're ready by the time the game come around. We got a week to get ready.
What's more difficult to kind of deal with? You know, obviously the league is changing. Everybody's airing it out. You're seeing guys throw 50, 60 times in a game. Would you rather deal with somebody who's going to throw 50, 55 times, or somebody like a Baltimore, somebody who's like, look, I don't care what you do, or like a Tennessee, I don't care what you do. You can put 8 in the box, 9 in the box. We are running it. What is more difficult to kind of deal with?
Oof, I'll probably say it all depends on who you got up front, like in your personnel. So this past year, if a team think they just gonna come in and just throw the ball all around, they sadly mistaken. Like, it'd be your best bet to try to run the ball no matter what, because we playing with so much depth. Like, we laughing at dudes when they running routes. That's how clean it was for us this year. And then we got rushers. We had
secondary
was rushing. AD was rushing. Like, we had dudes really selling their soul, rushing the quarterback for us. So it was just like a partnership. We had an unbelievable relationship, like with the D-line and the secondary. It's one for the books. Like, we literally gave up 280 a game. Like, teams wasn't moving the ball on us like that. So I'll probably say, depending on who you got, if we got all big dogs up front, you know, it'll probably be a little harder to stop the pass. Dudes gonna have to be, you know, in one-on-one situations. But this past year we had, you pick your poison. Like, I don't care what you try to do, we was gonna be good.
Right. Interesting. You know what? There was something that struck me that you said, and I think it was one of the interviews where you're talking about the Browns and moving to situation. You get the sense that they really care about you, and that there was a real, actual family, a camaraderie there. Like, what does care mean in sports? Like, because that's something I don't understand as an athlete. Like, I could read the press and they have their own filtered lens of it, but what does care actually mean to an athlete? Like, what type of support are you kind of referring to?
Well, Cleveland it's a one-of-a-kind city. I hadn't even been in the city for 24 hours. They recognize me already. They know who I am. Like, they say I probably never pay for dinner out there, you know, stuff like that.
That's a good hook.
General manager of the Browns, I think he's 33 years old. Like, he not too far removed from the game. Like, he knows, he was in the league. He knows, like, how stuff works. So the vibe that I get from them is, like, real homely. Like, it's not LA where, you know, they care about going out or what celebrity in the building. It's really like football. Like, we're going to do whatever we got to do to get this thing right. And it wasn't like that before, because when I was coming out of the draft, no disrespect to the old, you know, GM and stuff like that, but I didn't really feel that. It was kind of like they worried about the wrong stuff. This situation we in right now, I talked to the DB coach. We ain't even really talk about football. We talked about just like life, just like just chopping it up, getting to know each other. Like, he said he a family man. I called him on FaceTime. His kids running around in the background. Like, it's bigger than just the business. It's like a relationship. You're building relationships with people, and it's not like that everywhere.
How hard is it to build kind of that camaraderie, even with your peers and team, because at the end of the day, it's a job. And, you know, if they bring in somebody in the camp, they, you know, it's only so many spots. So how do you walk that fine line of, hey, we got to work together, but also, listen, ain't nobody taking my spot. Like, how do you walk that fine line in the locker room?
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, I just feel like it come down to, you know, your character and your integrity. Like, for me, yeah, they drafted 2 safeties last year, but I wasn't really worried about, you know, getting my spot taken. I'm worried about they're the future. They drafted them just like they drafted me. They going to play. So I'm more worried about, you know, the team success, you know, the guys that I've been working hard with for 4 years. Like, look, I'm going to give them everything that I know, because eventually I know, like, that's how I work. No, look at Tom Brady. They thought he was going to be a Patriot forever. He got up out there. So if he can't stay on one team, it's extremely difficult. You know you're going to move on. But like I said, I think it just comes down to your character, because you got guys out there that's kind of like standoffish that won't, you know, like that won't coach the young dudes up, or, you know, they won't even think about it, won't even help them out. Like, it's dudes like that, but it's a tricky situation. But I think it comes down to like you as a person and how you were brought up.
Shannon Sharp gave a training camp story where he said, you know, he was competing for a position job, and one of the vets, he asked him, "Yo, what's the route?" He said the vet gave him the wrong route on purpose.
See?
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. I could not believe it. I guess because we haven't been in those shoes, that never crossed my mind that somebody would do that. But, you know, it could be a grimy business, I guess.
Yeah, and that's another thing with the Browns. Like, they don't want guys like that. Like, they said they love Baker to death because he's a competitor. Like, he do things the right way. Is he the best? We don't know. We're gonna see. But he do the things the right way, and they get dudes in the building that like actually love the game, that love doing things the right way. And that's another reason why I'm saying, like, you could just feel it once you walk in the building.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, I think that's that. To me, all the dynamics of sports are very interesting and things like that. And just in terms of stadiums, there's a question I need to ask about stadiums. Most ruthless stadiums of fans with saying things that we won't say here today, but strongly worded language toward yourself, where you felt like, yo, like they really don't like us in here. Like, what was the most hostile sort of stadium environment where, you know, they kind of was circling the wagons a little bit? What was that for you?
So I got 3 good ones. I think I'm gonna have to put the Saints at number 1.
Wow.
And it's mostly like, it's not really directed towards us. It's just like, these are Saints. Like, who that? We that? Like, they like, like, it's not really disrespectful.
They choreographed and they hate for y'all. Yeah,
they go hard. Like, they really love them Saints down there. So they're one. I'm gonna have to give love to Cleveland because that's where I'm about to go. It's really like a dog pound. Like the inside barrier of the stadium is like a fence. It's like them dogs on the other side of the fence. Beware them dogs. Like, it's really like the dog pound in there. And then the stadium is right on the lake, so it's windy. The grass is always wet, like slick. It's like a hard place to play. 3, these people say stuff. They don't care what they say.
You know, we don't notice because y'all got your helmets on. The stadium is loud. NBA, you might can see something. NFL, I have no clue. Watching from home. So
the Seahawks.
The Seahawks? 6 men, the 12th man?
All 4 years that I played, it's the same exact people in the same spot. We go up there every 4 years. It's the same people in the same spots, and they know you. You know them. We're like, oh, look at him. He's back over here chirping, like heckling McMahon, heckling everybody, calling him a little kid. Like they go crazy up there. So, but on our part, we went up there and shut them down. I think like 3 out of the 4 years. So we do good up there. But they crazy too.
What was it like playing in empty stadiums this year? I know that had to be weird.
Yeah, it was early on. It was kind of like at practice, like even just running out the tunnel, it's just nobody. It's like, what are we doing? It felt like a spring game or something. But once that boy Foot hit that ball, like it's game time. Like it's another team in front of you. They trying to win too. So it was a little different. You know, you make a big play, all you hear is your sideline. Like the trainers, they go crazy. The strength coaches, they go crazy. Like really whoever you bring in there, like that's all you got. That's cheering for you. So
us versus them.
It was a little different, like the media people couldn't even be on the field, like all the cameramen and stuff. I think it was like 1 or 2 on the field, but everybody else was in the stands. That was a little different, but we got used to it over the year. Then luckily we went to Tampa. They had fans. Miami had fans. So we got a little bit of taste of both.
I was very upset about that. I'm a Washington fan. As you know, we couldn't have no fans, and I just felt like it was an unfair advantage, bro. If we can't have fans, can't nobody have fans. I don't want to hear that.
Bitter fans of like teams that aren't doing that great, but I'm just saying, like we need our space to yell at people. That's a fact. Yeah.
Nah, for sure. I'm from the DC area. My parents couldn't even go to the game. They couldn't even stop by the hotel and see me. Like, when the next time I'm gonna play there? Who knows? So
yeah, that's tough.
It was a little down year. Yep.
What was it like even for practice? I mean, you guys had to get tested like every single day and all types of stuff. What was that like?
It became routine. Like, you go on there, like you said, we get tested every day. We had like a little tracker to see who you're sitting next to. Like, everybody in the building got this little tracker, like it's contact tracing. Mm-hmm. If somebody ended up testing positive and I was around him for more than a minute or 2 minutes, I gotta sit out too until I get like two negative tests, 2-3 negative tests. So like when you seen COVID related, or it didn't necessarily mean they got it, but like they might have been around somebody that got it, or something like that, and they still had to sit out. And it became routine. You just go into work, you get your little tracker, get your test, and really that's pretty much it. You had to wear masks most of the time. You know what I'm saying? It's hand sanitizers everywhere. They ended up putting like little levers on the bottom of doors so you can open the door with your foot. Like, it was just a bunch of stuff to the Gatorade refrigerators. They had, you got to open it with your foot. Like, it was just a bunch of stuff like that to try to keep us safe and, risk mitigation, try to just, it's inevitable. It was, people were going to get it, but it was a bunch of stuff they did, and they did a good job, I think.
Yeah, I was actually very surprised that the NFL made it all the way through. I was worried in the beginning. I'm like, man, there's no way. It's 50-some dudes on every team. There's no way y'all gonna get through a full season. And y'all did it. So kudos to all the players in the whole NFL for completing the season.
Without a doubt. I mean, that was tough. I don't think people are gonna forget that. You know what I'm saying? I often think though too, what's gonna be the difference when things really open back up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you predict in terms of just the crowd, the media, the things like that? Do you see the landscape even changing at all in terms of like, we really missed this? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous like where it's gonna go, because I feel like eventually you're gonna need like a certificate to like do anything, like get your vaccination. I think everybody gonna have to get it eventually. Mm-hmm. I think they just gonna require that, like, to get on the plane, you're gonna have to have your paperwork. Like, so
We can't hear you.
You got me?
We got you now.
Everybody want to call me today. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be that you need your paperwork to do anything. So are they gonna do that with stadiums? I don't know, but I don't know where it's gonna go. They're gonna get it right. I think they're gonna have to just open stuff back up completely eventually.
Yeah. Eventually. I mean, I can't see us in a scenario of doing this again. But the fact that we know how is good. The fact that everybody's more cognizant of their health in general, it seems like players and just coaches in the league and everything is more cognizant of health and like what you do off the court in terms of like dieting and things like that. You know what I mean? Like what the importance of that as you're going through and developing in football and stuff. Like, how was that? Like, at first, did you have that discipline naturally to just be like, all right, I need to get my body right. I need to get together, put the Skittles down, or did that come over time? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm still working on that. But the guys that do it the best, it shows. I mean, I think they say LeBron spend X million amount on his body every year, stuff like that. But I'm still working on that. Luckily, I'm I'm still young. Like, my metabolism, it's fast. Like, I can do a little something, but eventually I'm gonna have to really lock in and make sure I'm doing the right things, but nobody looking.
Yeah,
definitely. Tone, we do this with every guest.
We do.
We do area trivia. So Tone, he done whipped up a few DMV area questions for you. A little bit of DMV trivia for you. So we gonna test your DMV skills out right now. Let's get to that, Tone. We
are. All right. So all of this stuff is it's germane to the area. And now I got to be honest. Now DMV and DC, I get yelled at all the time because I just think, DC, Maryland, Virginia. But you run up on somebody in Norfolk, they're like, yo, what is that? That's not like, what are you
ready to fight? Yeah.
So I really had to zoom into different things. Okay, cool. Now, so let's get to the first question. Now, the first question is this. This movie in the DC universe was shot in Washington, D.C. It's rated amongst the best in the collection. It features two 90-year-old men meeting up and a black man with wings. What's the name of that movie?
Hold on. Two 9-year-olds and a
two 90-year-old men.
90.
They were 90 years old, about. They were basically running the fade for about an hour and a half.
And you said a DC Universe movie?
Marvel. It's in the Marvel universe. I'm sorry. I messed that up. It's in the Marvel universe. It's two 90-year-old men fighting for an hour and a half and a black man with wings. You've seen it. I know you've seen this movie. It's a Marvel movie. It's a part of the universe. The extended.
Is it Spawn?
No, it's not Spawn. Think newer. Think more recent. Think
two dudes fighting for 90 minutes.
No, two dudes fighting for an hour and a half, pretty much, right? Two 90-year-old people, two 90-year-old men.
And it takes place in DC. That's what you said.
It takes place in DC. Right.
I don't know.
Part of the Marvel universe.
All right, let me go through.
Yeah. It's the second installment of one of the heroes' trilogy. So it's one, you know how all the heroes got a trilogy. Iron Man has a trilogy, it's like the second of his.
Tom, who is this, man? I don't know who this is. What movie
I'm
is
thinking, is it? I can't be Venom. No.
Okay, Scarlett Johansson.
Who the hell she play?
She was in it.
Scarlett Johansson is that's not Spider-Man girl. No. Scarlett Johansson, she pretty. That's
Black Widow. She was Black Widow, right?
I don't know. What's the movie?
Captain America Winter Soldier, man.
What's it called?
Captain America Winter Soldier.
Would have never guessed that.
You would have never guessed.
I wouldn't have either.
Yo, he literally fell into the Potomac. Okay, all right. It's all good.
I ain't see that movie, so I would have never guessed.
You didn't see Captain America Winter Soldier? You never seen
me either. I ain't gonna lie to you.
All right. See, both of y'all, bro. So you come up here, you give us this cool story. You know what I mean? You a star, great athlete. All right, all good. All right, let's get to it. Now, this DMV area native boasted an impressive resume at DeMartha High School. And he left college his junior year to become a two-time All-Star. Who is this person? One-time All-NBA.
Victor Oladipo?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay.
That is good.
Stop playing with me.
That's good. All right. So, name 4 All-Stars from the Washington Wizards since 2005.
Gilbert Arenas.
Okay.
Was Deshaun Stevenson All-Star?
No.
Gilbert Arenas. John Wall.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Beal.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
Come on.
He sucked for so long. Like
okay, I'll give you
I'm gonna get it. Let me think of them 5s they had. I know. You said 05. I'm thinking like Brendan Haywood, Jared Jeffries.
He was on that team.
Body getting warmer.
Karan Butler Juice. He had to be an All-Star. He won an All-Star?
The person who made it had a funny type game.
Karan Butler won an All-Star?
He was.
Oh, he was. It was Karan.
Yes.
I thought it was. It wasn't Antoine Jameson.
Yes, Antoine Jameson would have also been acceptable.
Had to be an All-Star.
Yeah, he had at least one time. Right. That's
okay.
Antoine Jameson's game was definitely goofy as hell.
Right. He had that funny game, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So how many? So what was that? We had 3. All right. Let's get to this because Driz, you kind of took the top 5 receiver, like you took the top 5 safety comment thing for me because we talked about safeties. Let's go the other way. Because this is all. Some of this can be opinion based as well. Top 5 receivers that you have played against since you've been in the league. In your opinion, who's the top 5?
Tyreek Hill.
Mm.
I'm gonna go Julio.
Mm.
I'm gonna go D-Hop. Tyreek, Julio, D-Hop. I'm gonna go Devontae Adams. And I'm gonna go. I'm trying to think of somebody who we couldn't stop. We do a pretty good job. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go DK. He had a good year.
Okay.
That's a good 5. That's a great 5.
That's a great 5.
Yeah,
That's a great 5. I mean, I like the superlatives as well. Like, who's the best sort of route runner? Like, you feel like, yo, not the fastest guy, right? But like they can get there. You know what I mean? In terms of just getting to that spot. You feel me? Like, who are the best route runners to you?
Mike Thomas, but he got a real. I feel like his menu, his little route tree is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go Mike Thomas, Devontae. He's nasty. I feel like D-Hop real sudden, and he catch everything. You can put the ball in wherever you want, but he'll get to the spots. And shoot, that's 3.
Okay.
Them dudes. Oh, look, hold on. Let me go back because this don't really count, but it counts. Cooper Kupp is like that.
Here you go.
You like that? What
you
is
don't like Kupp
what
game?
What? He's
Cooper Kupp is cold.
He
had to warm me up to Cooper Kupp. I wasn't on the Cooper Kupp train at first.
Yeah.
John, he said, yo, watch him. He said, watch him. And I watched him. That boy's a monster.
You know them dudes that run their routes like they playing basketball? Like that's him. Like he got that Odell. He not as he not as fast as Odell, but he got like that. I done seen him shift the best of the best.
Wow. Okay. All right, another trivia question for you. Now, this DC native has appeared in several films. Great role, received a critical acclaim in movies like Hustle and Flow.
Taraji. Go ahead. Let me hear it though. Go ahead. Let me hear the rest.
Yeah. That was that. Okay, so that was the one, and then after that, obviously, I gotta throw in like a weird history question and stuff like that. What year was the Martin Luther King monument built?
Martin Luther King monument. I'm gonna go with. There's no way I'm gonna get it, but Martin Luther King monument.
Yeah, what year did it open? It's in DC.
I feel like it's gonna be nah. He died like in the 50s or 60s, right?
Yeah, like I'm talking about the statue, the actual statue that they just opened up.
Oh, so they just opened it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. When was? Oh, look. I'm gonna think. Look. Okay, so Barack. It got to be around that time. Probably around that time. Around that time. Barack
he was the first black president. Yes.
I'm gonna go 20. What was that? Hold on. He been at 8. Trump been at 4. That's 12 years. Oh wait. 09. Oh wait.
You'd be off by 2 years. 2011 is actually when it's done. Yeah, but that's close. I like what you did. I like the way that you know what I'm saying, that
it gotta be something with Barack. Look, Barack got all of his ears probably like, look, I need this. So,
of course we will be remiss. The best rapper in DC is who? Or from DC, from the area.
Give us your top 3.
I'm about to say, is this opinion based or
your opinion? Who you like?
Things you like.
Because it all depends. Y'all probably not even gonna know. Like I grew up like Fat Trail was
Fat Trail.
Come on, don't do we know Fat Trail.
I knew he was gonna say that.
Fat Trail was that man.
Mm-hmm.
Shy Glizzy was that man.
Right.
Glizzy gang.
And I'm gonna go with Brent. Brent Fire. I'm going with Brent.
Okay. He makes great music. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little shocked that you left Wale out, but whatever.
Or Gold Link. I thought it was gonna be a Gold Link type of like Shazam.
But nah, I mean Wale. I ain't gonna lie. Wale was hot. When he was hot. But
Yeah.
I seen him at Lollipop the other day, so I had to leave him out of there.
Come on, man.
What?
Wait, so Wale to me at one point he was like, you know, freshman cover era, he was the guy, but I think he sort of transcended, you know, he's really gotten away from the older.
Yeah, for sure. Like lyrically, I still think he up there, like just straight wordplay. We on a wordplay lay, like he's still up there, but you know, I seen him at Lollipop the other day. So
yeah, come on, bro.
Wait, so okay, all right, and then the other things too, just as far as music, and you know, we cover battle rap up here as well. You know, I don't know if you how much in tune with you are with the battle rap things. You got Cassidy coming back against Hitman. I mean, these are things that I would love to sort of get your opinions and things like that on. You know what I mean? If you're in tune with any of the culture, who are some of the people that you like, things like that.
So yeah, early on, I say like, see, I got an older brother, so we used to watch like who was it, Murder Mook, Serious Jones. I used to listen to all them way before I was supposed to be listening to them. So I got to pay homage to them. But I like Hitman. I mean, he got that delivery. He real creative with his. You know, sometimes it ain't really what he's saying, it's how he's saying it. Who I like? I like Sue Surf. Yeah. I like that. I think that big dude, Boo Boo. What's the big dude name? That just be.
You talking about Shotgun Suge?
Shotgun Suge?
No, not Shotgun Suge. Is it Twerk?
You don't like Twerk?
Yeah. Oh, he was doing like the demonic voice. Yeah, the
not.
Yeah, you not. How you not in tune?
It's going down.
Yo,
nah.
You got it still before he puts you in the. You're gonna be in a haymaker. You might end up in the trailer. Like,
hey, look.
Like if they hit me, I'm giving JJ 3. Like,
look. I'm telling everybody got an opinion. Some people might think he the best. Everybody got an opinion. So
that's true.
Yeah, I ain't really been tapped in like that. But Hitman and Cassie, that sound like when that drop.
That is this weekend. Actually,
this weekend. I'm gonna have to check that.
Yeah. You know, and then just one thing that also lingers just in my brain as well, right? Because I was arguing about, you know, best albums all the time, like your personal favorite albums, like just any genre of music. You can include hip hop, whatever, across the gamut. You know what I mean? Some of your favorite albums that you like the vibe to for game day. What do we listen to on game day?
To be honest, I just listen to whatever they got and bump it in the locker room. I'm more like that. You could put on like some house music and I'm gonna turn everybody up in the locker room. So we listen to a lot of Future, whatever hot right now. I mean, literally like just whatever on like Rap Caviar, like whatever's popping, like that's what I listen to. But albums, like straight up, like Future got a bunch of albums that I can listen to from start to end, no skip. I heard that new Raw Wave is one of those.
Oh yeah,
like I gotta check. I heard a few songs, but I heard start to finish, no skip. Who else? Albums. Oh, Lil Wayne. I mean, I don't know if you can consider them albums, but like
them tapes. Yeah, let's mention
all them tapes.
Louisiana.
Dedication too. Louisiana.
All them tapes. All of them. That was my favorite rapper. He still is like number one. I don't even like listen to him no more when I talk like top 3 and stuff like that, because I think he in the class of his own. But all the Lil Waynes, most of the Future stuff you can just ride to and
different.
Yeah.
Different. That's a fact, man.
Yep.
All right, well, yo, this has been great, man. I have appreciated hearing your story and everything like that. It's good because I think a lot of times the stars have a perception that they're not down to earth, right? You know what I mean? Everybody come from somewhere, and you just happen to work hard, stand out, and like you said, you took advantage of the time that you was given, and you was able to, you know, be impressive and stuff. So I'm hoping for big things, man. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm an Eagles fan. So if you guys play the Eagles, I mean, you know, that day, if you want to slow down a little bit, that's cool.
If you want to slow down a little bit,
you know, I wouldn't encourage like not success, but I'm just saying my Eagles is that's what it is. But I wish you all the success, bro, in the league, just in life. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, man. Same to you. It's been great, man, chopping it up with y'all. This is just like we having a conversation. So
Right.
it's real cool.
Definitely appreciate you, bro. You know, taking the time out. This was very important to us. You know, you took time out your day, so I definitely appreciate you. You know, I don't know what I could do to, you know, repay you, you know, 33 million after you sign for 33 million later. It ain't too much you could get somebody, but you know, I had somebody make some I get some tacos, sit the house, something.
It's all love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
We
all
appreciate
love.
you, brother. Definitely.
Yep, no doubt.
No doubt. All right, man. So shout out to John Johnson. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the man's time. Yo, that was a big deal. That was a big deal. Good brother. You know what I'm saying? Strong safety, Cleveland Browns, NFL. Different. Driz.
It was a good show, man.
Yeah.
Great conversation. I learned a lot. You know, it was a good conversation, definitely.
100. And I think the other thing, the takeaways though, is look how many times he talked about, you know, his teammates. Look how many times he mentioned the people that helped shape him. Look how many times he actually talked about that, right? Like, I think just like in most team sports, you really actually have to be selfless in order to get ahead. You can't have this me first mentality. And when certain people is talking, you got to be quiet. Driz, you got to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Ramsey talking, like when these guys are talking, you know what I mean? And then eventually when you get the chance to run with it, you got to be
the lead.
You know what I'm saying? And I know part of the profile has to be that temperament, right? Because all of the publications were like, yo, this was a steal as far as free agency. Like, this is a big look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, everybody was high up on him. And I think it's that mentality, it's that character, I think, that also factors into it. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
Let's say that.
Great show, man. Great job. Great conversation. We look forward to bringing more of this type of content to you guys. So, you know, subscribe, share, and get into them.
Give us your thoughts and all that too. Follow us at The Black Compass, DA Black Compass. Salute. Driz, we up out of here. Now, we got more things this weekend or this week that we got to get into. But we going to chill. All right. Definitely. Anyway, Black Compass Media. Peace.